George Russell apologized for his Imola crash with Valtteri Bottas, while Sergio Perez continues to push. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our new home on unbeaten.com. Williams racer George Russell has accepted blame for his crash at Imola with Mercedes' Valtteri Bottas, stating he should have handled the whole situation better and that he will clear the air with him this week. Russell collided with Bottas on lap 32 in trying to pass him on the way down to turn 2, but lost control of the car and took both of them out. But Russell later admitted while it wasn't his proudest day, he took the risk with the race one of the team's best opportunities to score points. Bottas was shaken in the aftermath, not helped by a slap from Russell, but kept his calm with the support of Merc boss Toto Wolff. Sergio Perez is putting himself under maximum strain to get up to speed with his new team Red Bull Racing as soon as possible, with the Mexican stating every kilometer counts. Perez joined Red Bull this season on a one-year deal after being ousted from then Racing Point, and knows he must get on top of the RB16B car quickly, with the squad chasing the title.
But we are making progress, and I just hope that I just make it soon enough the progress, because right now we have a very competitive car, and have to be there pretty soon.
The 31-year-old impressed in Bahrain with a storming drive from the pit lane to 5th. Imola, though, was a nightmare with mistakes and a 10-second time penalty. But the Mexican knows what he needs.
For me, at the moment, it's just very important that I get on top of the car, that I really feel comfortable. Right now, I'm just having to think a lot what's going on with the car.
The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix rostrum was yet another record breaker, with 7-time F1 world champion Sir Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris making it 700 podiums for British drivers. But the podium was also an Italian culture celebration, with the Lightning Bolt trophies a collaboration between Milan artist Alice Ronchi and Pirelli Hangar Bicocca, a non-profit contemporary art foundation. Ronchi, whose work sees everyday objects meet fantasy and invention, drew inspiration from 1950s F1 cars and the Imola landscape, with the lightning bolt a symbol of power, speed, tension, and force. The design saw a number of iterations before switching to digital for it to be finalized, 3D printed, and even modeled in wax. The final editions for the podium were then cast in aluminium and expertly finished. Over to the USA, where Miami has finally been confirmed as a race on the 2022 calendar, expected in the year's second quarter, with a 10-year deal seeing a Grand Prix remain in Florida until at least 2031. Miami has been on Formula One's wish list since 2017, when Liberty Media bought the sport, with the new high-speed track to be built around Miami Dolphins Arena, Hard Rock Stadium. And the Miami Gardens area will additionally benefit from a $5 million stimulus program, which features internships for residents and vital STEM education for students. Hard Rock Stadium is 40 minutes drive north of original location Bayfront Park, with the track to be built in the surrounding 250 acres owned by real estate billionaire Stephen Ross. And the drivers can't wait to touch down in Florida.
I think Miami is a great location for Formula One. You know, it's a very fun city, a lot of partying going around, a lot of energy in that place. You know, I have a lot of friends over, and the Latin community is pretty big there. So yeah, definitely looking forward to be there pretty soon.
Turkey's Istanbul Park track could make another last-minute return to the calendar, with the Canadian Grand Prix scheduled for June 13 set for cancellation due to strict local quarantine regulations. Canada continues to battle the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, with more than 83,000 active cases, meaning a strict 14-day quarantine, including mandatory 3-day hotel stopover upon arrival. Canadian race promoters are diligently working with local public health authorities on holding the event safely, including behind closed doors. But that has financial implications given it's largely government-backed and run to promote tourism. Istanbul, however, is waiting in the wings to replace Canada and would be easier logistically with the slot back-to-back with Azerbaijan, meaning it's on the freight route home. Formula One President and CEO Stefano Domenicali has ruled out running two-day Grand Prix weekends in future. Last year's Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix was a two-day event due to the logistical challenge of it being run as a back-to-back race with Portugal's Portimao track, more than 2,400 kilometers between them. But promoters railed against it being adopted as a new format. All the organizers really wanted to have a full experience for the people and for the crowd, so we need to respect that, he said. Domenicali also stated there will be a Grand Prix in Africa in the next 5 years, with the most likely location to be South Africa. Former Ferrari race engineer Rob Smedley has dipped his cap to Carlos Sainz's methodical approach at Maranello, with the young gun taking his time across the opening races to get up to speed. Sainz has impressed at the Scuderia so far, with points at both Imola and Bahrain. But more importantly, the Spaniard has stayed away from hyping his matchup with teammate Charles Leclerc, said Smedley to the sport's official podcast F1 Nation.
The worst thing that you could do is kind of come in and, you know, make a big bold statement that you're going to send Charles off into the weeds and you're going to get number one status or whatever it is that I'm sure, you know, he eventually wants, or they'll both eventually want that. Because if that doesn't work, the pressure just mounts on you and it just becomes almost insurmountable.
Sky Sports F1 commentator Martin Brundle believes that Daniel Ricciardo can return to winning ways with McLaren as long as both parties have the patience required for it to happen. Ricciardo joined McLaren this year, but will need all of his 3-year deal to reap rewards, especially those from the team's new wind tunnel project, said Brundle to Australian Grand Prix podcast In the Fast Lane.
Yes, I do believe if he's got the patience and they've got the patience, if he sticks with McLaren, that could take him back to the front of the field.
McLaren is Ricciardo's 5th team in F1, a record he shares with Sebastian Vettel. His longest stint, 5 years with top squad Red Bull Racing, which was the catalyst for change.
He probably should have stayed at Red Bull, but he felt that all the love was in Max's direction, and I can understand that completely.
Silver Arrow's reserve Stoffel Vandoorne says that the Mercedes-Red Bull battle in Bahrain was the shot in the arm that the sport needed. Vandoorne lauded F1's season opener in Sakhir with its thrilling headline battle up front, and not just because his teammate, 7-time F1 world champion Sir Lewis Hamilton, got the result.
Yeah, Bahrain was a great race, to be honest. I mean, not only for Mercedes because we won the race, but really for Formula One as a sport and for the spectators. I think everyone really enjoyed to see the fight on track between Mercedes and Red Bull.
Hamilton recovered to 2nd place in Imola after a crash into the wall on lap 31. But Vandoorne admired the squad's ability to go aggressive when it needed to in the Bahrain desert.
It was a pretty bold strategy to try and get Lewis in front, and then obviously we had Max chasing with fresher tires and having a bit more speed. But I guess, you know, at the end of the day, the overtake was outside of the track limits. Max had to give the place back, which you know probably was unfortunate for him. But I think what we really should look at is the future of the championship.
IndyCar's 2021 season finally got underway last weekend at Alabama Motorsports Park, with former Haas driver Romain Grosjean starting 7th in his maiden event for Dale Coyne Racing. Fans didn't have to wait long for action, with Joseph Newgarden causing a multi-car pileup at Turn 5 on lap 1, The collected Colton Herta, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Felix Rosenqvist and Max Chilton. Spain's Alex Palau took an emotional maiden win, while rookie Grosjean said he was very happy to come home 10th, with the Swiss Frenchman excited to join the series from the outset.
I think it's a great series where you've got top drivers, top level, top races, you know, and you get a chance to pretty much have the same tools as your friends, competitors.
Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.